All right, so let's say that you've got a piece that you've painted, and what I'm going to show you for a lot of this is actually the same for Rebelle, for Art Rage, Photoshop, and that kind of stuff, except for the fact that Rebelle has a function in it now called nanopixel, and I believe that's just in the Pro, but anyway, the nanopixel is designed to help with something here. So you've painted a piece. Ideally, you want to have it at 300 dpi for being able to export to print. What I also like to do is normally leave a white edge here and then put my, not my signature, but my information like copyright, Brett Tadlock, TN Artist, 2022, all print down here. So the way I prepare that is I come into the selection tool and just go with the square selection. And then what I want to do from here is just select a space and get it roughly, what would be roughly a 1/4 inch or so from the edge. It's just something that looks kind of nice and looks fairly even across the board for it. And you can just eyeball it, and that's pretty even. Press enter. Okay, so I've got this selected. And then what I want to do is come up here and go to edit. And then I want to go to selection. Okay. In some programs, it's Shift Control I, like it is here. In some, it's Control I. Some of them, Control I just flips the image to a negative image, inverts all the colors. But it's usually Shift Control I or Control Shift I, like you see right here. So I invert. Now that has selected the outside. So what I can do now is I can just press delete and delete it. And then white edge. Or if I don't want to be destructive, I can Control Z, undo that, make a new layer, and then I could fill this new layer with white. Okay, and then I would have 2 layers here so that the main image still stays the same, but then I've got that nice white border and do that. So for example, if I just come here, I select white, and then I fill that. Now I've got the white border here, and I import this. Now one of the things with Rebelle that you'll see is this has this nice torn edge paper right here. So the canvas, you can see my selection actually goes beyond that. So if you export this as a PNG with a transparent background, you'll keep that texture. So you can even have that printed on top of paper so that it gives you this torn paper sitting up there. Anyway, it's a nice little look to it. But once I've got this done, then I would just simply Control D to deselect. I would then just type in or write in my information here for what I want it to say, like again, copyright, my name, the year, period, all rights reserved, period, then save it. And I usually do that in like a dull gray or something like that, so it looks like a pencil kind of writing and just a plain writing. And you can do that with just text, and just use the text and stuff. So that's how I get this part done, and I do that with pretty much all of my stuff that I'm going to print. Is I try to leave a space to where when it's printed, it gives a nice area that's clean for framing. It makes it easier. So some of them I'll make them larger, some I'll make it smaller, just kind of depends. Some of my third-party printing sources, if I leave like this 1/4 inch kind of thing here, they'll have a little bit extra on the side as well. So just kind of check to see what you're doing, but I find that about a 1/4 inch works really well. So once you've got that there, you would just export the image. And ideally, you can see here, this one is at 72 dpi because this is my painting. I always save a small version of my painting that's really kind of a low res for printing that I share online, so that way somebody can't really print my pictures. People can steal stuff if they want to, I guess, but, most people don't. I've only had that happen like about 4 or 5 times ever in all the years. So what you can do here is you can go into Rebelle and tell it to export nanopixel export. And oh, forgot, I got to turn it on here. So I turn it on here, and you can see how that changed right here. It kind of kicked in some of the texture. See how it changes? So I do that, and then I can come into tell it to nanopixel export because it'll allow you to go up to 16 times, I think, larger, and then I can just tell it what size I want to do. So if I want to do 300%, then I can just tell it to save here. And it's going to save it as a really large file, but then I can go back in and change the size of it and all that if I needed to, as far as like the actual size. So it's not 83 inches by 107 inches. But exporting it to a program lets me do so, but it saves it here, exports it that way. Ideally, you want to be doing your paintings at 300 DPI, which is where I normally paint unless I'm recording it. If I'm recording it, it's usually around 150. But then I would just save that and send it to my printer. The other thing I do, because some programs behave differently and some tablets behave differently. This is an older Huion that I'm on, and the image is here for whatever reason can be a little washed out looking. So I tend to have it on a couple different monitors so I can look at it and see what the color print looks like. And I've got it fairly well adjusted so that my darks don't wash out to deep blacks, my lights don't wash out to a lighter white. And what I recommend for doing for that is make a sheet, say like an 8x10, and then import your images into it. Have a window open on a separate monitor if you have a separate monitor. If you don't, then just play around with the image. So like if I brought this candle image in, I would shrink it down, place it here, leave it like it is. Then I would make a copy of it. I would adjust it to where I think it looked darker or brighter, and just kind of do that and make a row of like 9 of them, say 3 across, 3 down, and see what that looks like with different settings. And then I would print that off wherever I was printing it and see which one it looked like and make notes of what I did, so that way I could reproduce it. So if I get this set up and it looks really good, then I can print that off and have a nice clean looking print that matches it. But right now I've got mine fairly well calibrated that if I look at it here and on my other monitors, it usually comes out fine. So I can look at my other monitors and see if it's really overly saturated or what. If so, I just adjust it and go from. That's one of those things you want to do. But as far as like getting it ready physically to print, again, put a little bit of a border there to give a nice clean edge. Make sure to put your copyright information on it, and then save it either as a PNG file to keep that torn edge look, or a JPEG, and then have it set up to go out to your printer from there. Anyway, just a real quick video. Hope that helps to clarify how to get the edges prepared for printing. If you have questions, leave them below. Thanks.